Yes, sure, we can start.
Okay. Very good afternoon to everyone present here. I am Shilpa Shenoy, Assistant Professor at BMS College of Law, and I'll be moderating this interactive session today. So, welcome to everyone who's joined. Um, the interactive session is organized by LawInternships exclusively for our students at BMS College of Law. So I'll tell you a bit about LawInternships. LawInternships started with the objective of providing first-hand experience of the day-to-day functioning of various legal bodies through legal internships to students pursuing undergraduate or postgraduate programs in law. And it was started by Mr. Shubham Solanki, co-founder and partner, and Ms. Amrita Jain, partner at LawInternships. Now, before I introduce today's resource person, Advocate Pawan Reley, I'd just like to begin by giving a brief introduction of BMS College of Law. BMS College of Law was established in the year 1963 by Shri B.S. Narayan, Donor Trustee, BMSCT, under the aegis of BMS Education Trust. The trust is named after Shri B.M. Srinivasaya, whose vision brought about the foundation of the first private engineering college in Karnataka. The college currently offers 5-year courses on BA LLB and BCom LLB and a 3-year degree course in LLB. BMS is affiliated to Karnataka State Law University and is approved by the Bar Council of India. With the name of imparting quality legal education, BMS College of Law has a strong foundation and infrastructure with highly qualified and dedicated team of faculty committed to providing world-class learning experience. We also boast eminent alumni of the institution, namely Honorable Justice Nagarjuna Reddy, former judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh, and Honorable Justices S.N. Satyanarayana, P.S. Dinesh Kumar, and Mahesh Nagaprasanna, all judges of the Karnataka High Court, among others. So, without further delay, I'd also like to introduce our resource person for today, Advocate Pawan Reley. Sir is an advocate at the Supreme Court of India. He is also a co-founder of VSPR Associates and NEEV Judicial Education. Sir has filed an intervention application in Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association versus Union of India and argued before the 5-judge bench. Sir has also represented the government of Haryana in the case titled Sonu and Amar versus State of Haryana, and assisted the Honorable Supreme Court in settling the law of electronic evidence certificate enumerated under Section 65B of the Indian Evidence Act. Apart from his legal profession, Sir has also authored a book titled Judicracy versus Democracy, Revisiting Court Judge's Case, and has been honored by Dr. Manmohan Singh for the same. A warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for joining us today. So, without any further delay, let's begin the interactive session for today. So, sir, now that you've transcended on a path of successful law career, looking back, what will be your views on internships and their importance to law students?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you so much for introducing me in such an elegant manner. And I'm really privileged to be the part of this discussion. And more importantly, I thank you and Law Internship for choosing such an important topic. Because this topic has such a crucial importance that when I go for recruitment and I look at the series of many students, they commit mistake even when they are in final year. They don't know that how to describe the internship, what should be the duration internship, what are the statutory requirements for internship. So in answering your question, Ms. Shilpa, I will be covering few subheadings or you can say few things. So it will include that why internship is important, what should be the duration of internship, how to get internship, what to do during internship and what not to do during internship, and how to pick right internship or to divide internship in a correct form. Now, so first of all, as we all know that William Shakespeare has stated that ignorance is the curse of God and knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven. And with this power of knowledge, one can have access to the doors of heaven. And as we all know that every knowledge has two parts. One is a theoretical aspect and another is a practical aspect. And when we talk about law, the practical aspect we can only get when we are in law school through internships. So I will divide this. I will divide this on two bases, because when we are in law school, we always see two categories of students. One who are interested in doing internships, and another who are not interested in doing internships. They just simply want to enjoy their life. So for them, I would like to state, so first I'll come to the students who are not interested in doing internship. So I would like to inform them that there is a statutory requirement for doing internship, apart from the practical aspect that you will get the knowledge. And the statutory requirement is given under Schedule 3, para number 25 of the Bar Council Rules on Legal Education, which provides that minimum period of internship. And it states that each registered student who are doing 3-year course, they must complete the 3-year course, the 12 weeks internship minimum. And the students who are studying for 5-year course, they have to complete 20 weeks internship. That is a compulsory requirement. So you cannot escape it. Now, where is the problem arise? The problem arises when when any law firms or when any person to whom they are going for recruitment or for applying the subsequent internship, when they go, we find that people or the students are ignorant of the law to which they are bound by. They are ignorant by the statutory requirement that what should be the duration internship. Now, if you look at very carefully this Schedule 3, Rule 25 of this Bar Council Rules on Legal Education, it says that 28 days internship minimum you have to do, like minimum 21 days, and maximum in one go you can do 28 days internship. Now, what I see that students does not do internship in for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or maximum they start from, some of the students start internship from, like in various law colleges, start from fourth year, and they just directly start doing internship from first day, and they continuously do it for 4 months. So I have seen that in resume they have written they have done consistently 4 months internship, consistently 5 months internship, 6 month internship, because they want to cover up the 20 weeks time period which is mandated by the Bar Council. And that is wrong, because according to Bar Council, in one go you can only do internship confined to the period of 28 days. And if any internship which is beyond that 28 days time period, that will not be counted in that 20 weeks internship. So first thing, you have to have this in mind. Everyone has to have this in mind, that you cannot do any internship. You can do, of course, if your internships are going beyond 20 weeks, you definitely can do three months internship, 4 months internship. That does not matter. But if you are doing internship in order to cover that 20 weeks, in that case, you have to have that internship of 28 days. Then you can have break of 2 days. Then again, you can carry on with the, so suppose 1st of January to 28th of January. After that, again, you can, with the same advocate, you can do 1st of February to again 28th or 29th. Then again, 1st of March, like this you can do. So do not get only one certificate stating that this student of 3rd year or 4th year of this college has done internship from 1st of January to the 6th of July or 5th of July. That's wrong if you are covering that period in 20 weeks. So first thing, so when I see the students have written like this in CV, the first impression in my mind which comes is that the students are ignorant of their own law, which they must comply. So do not make this mistake. Start doing your internship from the from first year itself. And most of the students realize that okay, internship is a compulsory thing. They realize in final year when there is a marking from the exam, because again it's a compulsory marking in final year. So then in that time they realize. So do not do that. Do 28 days internship, take break, and again start doing internship. If you are doing this in 4th year or final year, and take multiple certificates, not one certificate. This is my suggestion. Otherwise, it will be against the rules laid down by the Bar Council, and you may be in trouble, especially in recruitment and so on. Now, apart from this, the practical aspect is, if you want to learn, there is no doubt that internships, of course, enlighten your talent, enhance your skills, and elevate your personality in all the way. Now, as I told you, the duration of internship. Now, the question arises is how to get internship. Now, how to get internship? It depends on person to person. You can do internship, you can start from NGO. Now, don't take NGO internship so lightly. explore the practical world there when you are doing internship. Or when you are doing internship in NGO, you must not have, see, when you are in first year, you must not have a good CV. And you don't have to worry. Just be confident. Always apply 3 to 4 months prior or 3 to 4 months earlier. And from at least 6 months earlier. And then do follow up first through email and then through office contact number. Now, what happened, one mail you have sent and after that you started contacting them through the office contact number. Do not do that. You may just have, you can exhaust the alternative remedy. You can just send them the reminding mail. And after that, you can contact them through contact number. And if you are applying for a firm, then sometimes they have interview. And when you are specifically are in third year or fourth year, there are so many law firms which conducts interviews. So for example, Nishit Desai Associates, if you are going from your college, they conduct the interview. Now, when you go for interview, you always have to remember that you have to be something very different from the other students. Now, one question they ask that why you want to come to a firm and why we should take you. You always answer that I'm so much confident. I have so much of knowledge. That's okay. Everyone has that. So suppose what extra thing you know about the firm, how you are going to show them. So I would like to narrate my story in this. So once there was an interview conducted by Nishit Desai Associate when I was in fourth year in my law school. And out of 20 students, only 2 students had to be selected for that. Very limited availability. So they said that why we should take you. What is the special thing in you? So I said that I know more about your firms compared to the other people. They said, how? Just prove it. So I went through, apart from knowledge what you have about the competition law, merger and acquisition and so on, you must visit the website of the firm. You need to understand that what are their recent deals which they have entered into. So I told them that, sir, so there was a HR call. So I told them that, sir, your firm, Nishit Desai Associates, promotes the junior. So they said, how you are saying so? So in their website, there was a deal given in which there were 3 firms involved, Luthra and Luthra, J. Sagar Associates, and Nishit Desai Associate. And from all the firms, there were senior partners. From all the firms, there were senior partners. From Luthra and Luthra, there were the panel of 3 senior partners. From J. Sagar Associates, there were panel of 3 senior partners. But from Nishit Desai Associate, there were 2 senior partner, and then there was 1 junior associate. And that junior associate coincidentally was my senior. So I happened to scroll that. I happened to find that out, and I told them. In that time, they really thought that I cared about their firm and I have some specific knowledge which they want in someone whom they are looking for. So they selected me. So this is the way that you have to prepare for interview. You have to know something extra about their firm apart from the knowledge which you have about merger and acquisition or the areas which the firm or that particular office deals with. Now another question arises that what to do during internship, do's and don't, which we say. What you can do, you can try to learn practical work rather than merely focusing on research work, because you may do when you are in your college. So suppose when we are in internship, we immediately tell a senior, sir, give me something for research, so I want to research. And then they will give you some research topic and you start researching on that. See, that research work, I'm not saying you should not do, but that should be the additional part. That research work you may do, but that can also be done when you are in the college. That research work, the typing SAC online and Manu Patra, you can learn that. For what purpose you are going to that firm, for what purpose you are going to that court. Now, so as I said, try to focus on the practical aspect, try to focus on the practical work rather than only on the research work. Now, if you have done one court internship, after one court internship, you should know the very basic points. Now, there are few points which you should know inside the courtroom when you are sitting inside the courtroom. If you are doing litigation internship, there are few things which you should know outside of the courtroom. So the things which you should know outside of the courtrooms, if you have done one internship. So if I am recruiting anyone for internship and if I see that he has done this litigation internship, the one litigation internship prior to this, I will have an interview and I'll ask him basic questions that what do you understand by the filing counter? What do you mean by Ahmad room? Where to get the stamp fee? How to approach the notary, taking certified copies, the photocopy guy. Now, after one litigation internship, if you are going for second internship, if you know that there is an interview, there may be an interview. After that internship, after, outside of the courtroom, you have to know all these concepts: filing counter, elmad room, stamp fee, notary, the photocopy person, who was the photocopy person. So they will not ask you who was the photocopy person, but if second time you are coming, you can always have, you can always be very useful for the person to whom you are going. So this is very, very basic tips. Now, if you are inside the courtroom, when you are hearing the court hearing inside the court, you must know very basic important concepts such as adjournment. You have to know what is the meaning of Passover. You have to know what is the meaning of mentioning, which starts at early hours of the hours of the court at 10:30 or 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock. You have to know what is reply, what is counter affidavit, what is rejoinder, what is the meaning of IA, interlocutory application. If you have done your prior internship with the civil advocate or the criminal advocate, what is civil miscellaneous application? These are the very basic points. Now, apart from that, you should always, maintain your good relation with the office clerk if you are in the litigation internship. And whenever he is going for filing, you should approach him that you also want to go with him for filing the matter. And, do not get hesitate. Do not hesitate yourself. If you are in the office, just tell your sir that, sir, you also want to assist the clerk in filing the matter. Your mentor will never say no, and he will send you. And that is the work which you are required to know: how to file the matter, how to take the certified copies, and the very basic things in your first and another internships when you are in litigation. Now, second point is, when you are internship, be very punctual. Try to complete the work before deadline. Be very professional. When I say be very professional, it means, suppose if you are someday, if you are not able to come, drop an email. And if you have a contact number, drop also the message. So you have to be very professional when you are in internship. Communicate with the mentor. Okay. Now, what are the things? So suppose, as I said, that communicate with mentors. When I was in third year, I was working in Dice Law Associates in Kerala. Now Mr. Dice is a honorable justice in Kerala High Court. I used to interact with him a lot. I used to ask him, sir, what is the meaning of decree and how practically decree has to be differentiated from the order. So he's told me that, Pawan, you cannot understand the difference between order and decree unless you see what is the decree and how the decree is drafted, how the decree is drawn. So he's shown me that, and from that day I got to know about it. So you have to communicate with your mentor. That will build a very good relation in future. Okay. Now, what are the things which you are not required to do in the office? Do not just flatter the mentor. That's very bad impression you may have, because they have an experience of someone has 10 year, 25 year, 25 year. So when you flatter them, they come to know about it. Okay. So do not do that. Don't be unprofessional. So suppose if you are going late, mail them or drop the message or call them. Now, another point I want to cover in answering this question, that how to pick right internship. So my suggestion to you is that do various types of internship till your third year, because most of the time till third year, you don't know what is your area of interest. So till that time, you can have an internship in NGO, you can have a trial and appellate advocates, you can do there. You can have a judicial clerkship, you can do internship under legal regulatory authorities, in legislature, parliament, other legal functionaries, okay, law firms, companies, local self-government, you can do there. But when you reach fourth year, and that time you must know in which field you want to go. Now, when I say that why you should divide the internship, the reason is, suppose if you have done till your third year, you have done all your internships in litigation. Now in fourth year, you may have, unfortunately, suppose if you have some difficult financial problem, now you have come to the conclusion that you want to go to law firm. And that time you should have some background, of diverse internships, not only the litigation internship, not only, the legal regulatory authorities internship or NGOs internship. You must have the background for the same, because in fourth year, from there your career starts in which field you want to go. So do various types of internship. Okay. Now I have seen many students, when I look at their CV, when I go for recruitment, I see that there are so many students who do internship in their first internship. They do with Solicitor General of India, Additional Solicitor General, Advocate General, Attorney General of India, because we have that backup. So Now, if you have that backup, you don't have to worry. But when I see that you have that, internship in first year, I will presume that this internship is somewhere here and there from Jugaad. Because of course, when you are in first year, it's very difficult to get that internship through on the basis of your merits. And then suppose, so it's very evident, it becomes very evident in that time that you have not got this internship through merit, through your hard work. So you must understand that, see, if you have Jugaad, if you have backup, that's very beautiful thing. You must use it in the right time. When there is a right time, the right time will be in fourth year on the final year. Do not waste it in your first year. So, it's a type of Brahmastra you have. So use that Brahmastra in the right time and not in the wrong place. Once you use it in the wrong place, it is a waste. And that will spoil your CV rather than, beautifying it. It will spoil your CV. In first year, you are showing the internship you have done in Attorney General. So do not do that. Apply that right Jugaad in the right time. If you have backup, it's very good. Okay. So my another suggestion is that when you have internship experience, and now I have seen many students who do internship only in one place. So suppose if someone is doing internship of first year and second year and third year, there is only one advocate of their district. So they are the hometown and they have chosen only one advocate and from whom they are trying to get the certificate again and again and again. Now, you may have worked very hard in that internship, but the first assumption which will come in my mind is this, that you are merely taking the certificate from that advocate and you are enjoying your life. And then I will start bombarding questions on you, that what you have done and how did you do that drafting, how did you assist them. So do not do that. Again, the burden will be on you, the heavy burden will be on you that you did work hard in that internship. So do not, just because someone may be from Bangalore, someone may be from Delhi, someone may be from very small hometown, very small town. So when you are from a small town, do not confine your internship in one particular place and to one particular advocate. Okay. Now, yes, so this is something what I wanted to just inform the students. So during that, what to do during internship, what not to do, and so on, and importance of internship.
Yes, thank you, sir. I think very important and useful insights. I wish I had the benefit of this session when I was a law student, so I could have used some of this when I was applying for internship. So thank you for that. Now, I know you touched upon certain personal experiences when you were a law student, but I want to get back to that and just could you tell us about your transition from a law student to a law professional?
See, when you talk about transition, the change, when you are law professional, you cannot take things very lightly. You cannot take things lightly, which you may take when you are a student. Okay, there are direct more responsibilities on you when you are a professional. So, for example, I'm sitting here in this webinar and I still have a fear because my one matter is still listed in Delhi High Court today, and that has not come yet. So I was very much worried that what if it is coming between 2 to 3. So I have that sense also. So I have to focus there also. So this is, and I cannot, the client may sit in front of me, the client may hear the virtual hearing, which may go on in the court. So again, if I'm not able to attend it, there will be so much of burden on me. He will ask the question, sir, why you have not attended? Because he's paying me. So when you are a professional, when you are an advocate from a student, it's not very difficult to agree that lawyers owes a duty to the court, duty to the public interest, the professional independence, and there is always, the limit of jealous representation of a client and the consequence of failing to uphold the lawyer's duty to the court. So now I have to balance this now. Present time, I'm balancing this. I'm balancing the public interest while, giving this lecture here. And I also have to balance, the jealous representation of a client there. Why I'm saying jealous? Because he always wants that, sir, you just forget it and just come to this hearing. You just wait here. That's why I referred the word, there's a jealous representation of clients. So when you're a professional, you have to balance all that. And when you are a student, you don't have to worry, if there is a back, you can always, write that particular exam in your next semester. So when you do not fulfill the responsibility, when you're a student, you just get a back. But when you do not fulfill the responsibility, when you are in a profession, you get a dismissal. And let me assure you that dismissal is more dangerous than getting back, because again, it has got so much of its own problem. So there's a transition from a student to the professional.
Thank you, sir. So now that you're on the other side of the table in terms of internship interviews and evaluation, could you tell us about how critically internships are evaluated in the CV and what law firms look for in a CV when a candidate is applying to the particular law firm?
Okay, so again, there is no direct answer for this. And again, it depends on firm to firm, person to person, what they see. But there are few very general things which I have found in the student's CV, and it's that I see, when I see or go through the CV, I see that uh, people have written and they have committed blunder while describing the internship. So, for example, if I say that Mr. X has done internship under Mr. this Srivastava or Mr. Sharma advocate from this time period to this time period in High Court, okay. Now, in CV, you have to describe that what you have done that in that internship. Now, how people describe, just see this. They say that I have done civil work, I have done criminal work, and I also have completed so many family matters in that internship. Now, this is the blunder which they have made. Why? Because see, these fields are very wide. When you say civil, it will take at least 10 to 15 years, to just have a good experience of, practice in civil field. Again, in the criminal, so when you have this type of CV and when you come to me, I will grill you with it. Why I will grill you? Because you have given me a chance to ask a wide varieties of questions. You have not confined your CV to the right things. I will ask you so many questions in civil. What is plaint? What is written statement? What is rejoinder? Difference between replication and rejoinder? What is interlocutory application? What is the state? And then you will say, sir, this is not something I have done. So I will say what you have done. Then they will say, sir, I did in that internship, I did this. Then I will say, why have you not written that in your CV? And why you have not described your internship like this? So you don't have to describe your internship like, that you have done civil, criminal, family matter, competition matters you dealt with, because there are so many thousands of applications. There are hundreds of varieties of petitions which are filed under those laws. So you should be very specific with the work done in internship. Very specific. So suppose if you have done some civil work, you should write like this, that under that advocate, you have worked on research on limitation of filing written statement. Now, when you have written it, and I will see this, my question will only be confined to this particular point, that since you have done internship under that advocate, you have mentioned in your CV that you have researched on limitation of filing the written statement. Now, what do you know about it? Since you have mentioned in the CV, you are not required to be afraid of it. And now you will go through the Salem Bar Association case of limitation of filing written statement and so on, 2002, 2005, and you can give a very beautiful answer in that time. So all the picture which you have made in your first year, second year. Okay, I think there is some disturbance. Anyway.
Please request you to mute. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, as I have said, you have to be very specific with the things which you have done in your internship. Now, there is another mistake which I have found in CV, and what I also believe that I have found hope that many of the other law firms may also be finding the same. That sometime, people in first year or in second year write that they have drafted, since they get the general draft from their seniors, so they just copy paste it, and they say that they have, when they are in second year, they write they have drafted this plaint, they have drafted this thing, they have filed the matter. I think this is the blunder which you make. So I'm not saying that you cannot draft when you are in second year. You definitely can draft, but again, in interview there will be very and a high burden on you to prove that what did you draft and how you have drafted being in second year. So what you can write, that in second year when you are doing internship, or even in third year, that you assisted in drafting, you assisted in filing, you witnessed the arguments and so on, you can write. Okay, so just do not write that. So first thing I told you here, that do not make the area wide, confine yourself to the logical point which you can answer in interview. Okay, second thing, you don't have to write in second year and third year that you have drafted this. Even if you have done, that's very good, but do not write it, because the additional burden will be on you. Now the third point here in answering this question, I would like to say that, because this is very important topic, I want to point out that people, again, one another mistake which I found in the people's CV, that people who have done internship with senior advocate, they again write that they have drafted the petition, they have drafted the writ petition, And one of the most wonderful thing is that senior advocates does not have hardly any senior advocate has any drafting matters. They do not draft the matter. You just brief them. You just help in briefing them the matters. They do not draft. Senior advocate's office never have any drafting things. So this is again one of the common mistake what I found in the student CV, that they write that they have worked under senior advocate Mr. This Nageshwar Rao, Mr. This Rao, or Mr. This Saxena, senior advocate High Court of Karnataka or High Court of Madras, and they learn drafting. Not possible. Again, if you have learned drafting, that's very well, but do not write it, because again, there will be heavy burden on you to prove that how you have drafted the matter in senior advocate. And that first impression will be, against you. So do not do that. Again, another very important point, what I want to point out is, as I said, do not make the area wide and be very specific. Another mistake what I have found in the student CV is this. I personally, there is a general myth that law firms does not see the certificates or something like that. I personally see the certificates, and I see that in your CV, you have mentioned that you have, done amazing research on filing written statement. You have done amazing research on competition matters. But when I, match your internship certificate of that advocate of that particular time, the certificate is very simple. It provides that to whomsoever concerned, this particular person has done a brilliant job during this period. That internship certificate is not matching what you have mentioned in your CV. And that is, I think, the worst thing. And I will believe that you are lying with me, because you have not done that work, and now you have merely made it, because there is no certification. Because with the advocates, with the judges, the first thing is the documents, and you do not have the documents to show. So what you are required to do, you must understand that when you are in first year, second year, final year, fourth year, you have to go to your senior, to your mentor, whatever work you have done, you have to tell them, give them some 3 to 4 important work that, sir, it's my humble request, kindly mention that in my certificate. So they will not say no, because you have done that work. Do not get afraid of. That's that's a hard work. You have paid for that work. Again, if you have not done the work, do not go to them. If you have done the work, just go to them, and they will put that thing in your certificate. And then whatever is there in the certificate, only those things ethically you are required, you are mandated to write in your CV. Do not go beyond your certificates. Okay. So the primary duty on you is to match whatever you are writing in the CV and whatever you have got on the basis of your certificates. Okay. Again, so this is something what I wanted to cover in this. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So while we're on the topic of applying for internships and CVs, I'd also like you to cover on cover letters and what you like to see and not like to see in a cover letter.
See, in cover letter, you must remember that when you are in first year specifically, you do not have a good CV. And so in that, what matters in that time a lot, the primary impression is the cover letter. And that cover letter, should have why you want to apply to that particular office. So there should be few points, that what duration you want to apply, the name of the office, okay, and the statement of purpose, that why you want to apply to that particular firm or to that particular office. Now, as I was telling you, that in that cover letter, in 2 to 3 line, you should always say that, if there is a litigation office, and you just search the name of that advocate or the office in Indian Kanun or somewhere, and if you have found out few judgments, you read that judgment, and you mention in that cover letter that, sir, since I was very much impressed by the arguments given by you in this case, so I want to apply to your office because I want to learn. I want to also have the same arguments like that. So you can mention in cover letter all those things, which, in 2 to 3 lines, which can have a better impression on you. Again, in the law firms, you can have the same thing. That how they promote juniors, what are the wonderful things which have been done in past by the firm. So, so in 4 to 5 line, you will give them the first impression, which will be very good. So cover a letter is nothing but a first impression which you are going to give them. So these 3 things you're required to cover: the statement of purpose, and about your college, and the duration of the internship, and so on. Okay, so.
Yes, sir. So moving on, I think you briefly touched upon this earlier, sir, but we want to know what must a student look for during while choosing internships? So should they do it in a court of law? Should they do it in a law firm?
So again, it depends on the choice of the student. As I told you, that till your third year, you should divide your internship according to me. And if you are so sure that you just want to go to litigation, you can do that. But if you have, the experience of firm, I believe that the top tier law firms are more disciplined, and they have, so much of professionalism, so which you get from the law firms. And when you ask me that what a student must look while choosing the internship, according to me, and it's my personal experience, you must find out the background of the office if you are going for litigation internship, because there are so many litigation offices I have personally experienced that do not give work to interns, to law interns. So what they do, the law intern in the Supreme Court I have seen, they just hold the files and just roaming around here and there behind the advocates. They just enjoy their time in canteen. They just start having coffee, and they think that this is what their internship is going on. So you should not do that. Before going to any office, you must see the background. That office does not matter the background is big or the background is small. Does not matter that whether you're going to ASG's office or AG's office or Attorney General's office. If you're not getting the work, it does not make any sense. The internship does not make any sense. Personally, for me, when I see the CV, I will not take you in my firm, or I will not recruit you mainly if I see that you have worked in some, in some big shots, in some big advocate's office. I will not give you a job, and no one will recruit you. They will ask you the questions. So you must have the good experience of the work environment. You must know the background of any office before choosing that office, that whether internees get work. If the internees do not get work, howsoever the office big is, you should not choose that office merely to get the certificate. That's a bad idea.
Definitely, sir. So relating to that topic, what is your opinion on how a student can build their CV over the course of the 5 years in law school, and what should they be focusing on?
Yes. So now, in answering this, I would like to say that your CV is divided in 3 parts. One is your curricular activities, which you cannot change. So if you have got some grades, you cannot change them. If you are changing them, again, you are doing cheating and forgery and so on. So you cannot change that. After that, there is a co-curricular activity, which again, I'm not saying which you can change, but you can change that, during the period of time. And then the third part is the extracurricular activities. Now, co-curricular activities are your moot court competition, paper presentation, paper publications, and then there is an extracurricular. Extracurricular are the sports which you play, or the other things which you do. You are, heading some committee in your law school. You are the convener of your moot court society. That's an extracurricular activity. I'll say co-curricular. I personally, I myself confined to moot court competitions, or you say the internship things, and this paper publications and so on. Now, what I see in CV, in co-curricular activity, I'll focus on that when you write the paper publication, or specifically when you do the moot court competition, you should always choose the good moot court competition, not the ordinary moot court competition. If you are going to ordinary moot court competition, if you are winning, it's not again going to give me a very good impression, because I have personally seen the problems of many moot court competition. And I have seen that anyone is drafting the moot court problems. Someone from, directly from Tehsildar, the moot court problem is reaching to the Supreme Court through a special leave petition. And it's not possible, practically it is not possible. And when you do these type of moot court competitions, which I do not know, the first presumption or assumption in my mind is that, okay, it's not so great. And when you go for some well-known moot court competition, for example, JESA, Melford, BCCI, and so on, if you talk about the national moot court competition, even if you have not won that, even if you are not the runners-up, it does not matter to me. I believe that everyone who participates in good moot court competition, they exert their hard work. They work like anything. There are so many reasons for not winning the moot court competition, the minds of the judge, not selecting the memorial, and so on. Okay, so do not just bother about it. Try to choose the right moot court competition and the good and reputed moot court competitions. Another thing I would like to cover in this, that when you draft your CV, when you make your CV, you include extracurricular activities even when you are in 4th year. Now, when you are in 4th year and you are applying for internship, see, personally, I do not care whether you play cricket or you play chess. What I care is only the curricular activities and the co-curricular activities. The matter is different when you are in 1st year, because in 1st year you do not have the material, and you had no chance to build your CV. But when you're in final year, you had absolute chance to build your CV. Okay, so when you say that cricket, I believe that you have not done anything in your till fourth year or third year. You have not enough to a space to fill for 2 pages. You are not able to fill your 2 pages CV. Generally CV should not be more than 2 pages until unless it is required by some firm or the office, so the first thing which will come in my mind is that you are not able to fill your CV. You are not able to complete the 2-page CVs. You have written these extracurricular activities, so you only have to write again when you do not have anything, and you should be ready for that. And specifically when you have things, so do not mention that. Confine yourself to curricular and co-curricular activities. So this is my views on this.
Yes, so thank you for that.
Yes.
Now I'd like to talk a little bit about the future. I know that these are quite uncertain times, and for students, especially on how they're going to transition to the professional world. So we want your take on 2020 and beyond, looking at the current scene and the future jobs market and the internship market,
Okay.
specifically with respect to the legal field.
Yes. So again, it's a very good question which you put forth before me. See, the situation today is very serious, but you must understand one thing, that it's not forever. It's not perpetual. A court and firms cannot be closed for forever. Things will be normalized. The normalcy has to be prevailed. So what you can do, you so do not have to worry that what is going to happen after 6. Again, see, there is a problem for the student who have passed out and are not having any job, because it's a very practical thing. When I'm running a firm and I'm going to pay someone 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, and I also know that in court there are very limited matters which are being listed, for example bail application, stay application, and very urgent matters. I also know that I'm not going to have so much of work for my regular matters or for my advanced matters. So in this time, of course, I will not hire, but you don't have to worry. The things will be normalized. They cannot be closed forever. And in this time, you must focus on enhancing your skills and elevating your personality, enhancing your talent. And you must be ready for, for the further challenges in future. And this is the right time, I will suggest, that you can develop your technological skills, because there are so many senior advocates who are they are very traditional in nature. They are very much afraid of technology. They do not want to have the virtual hearing. So once you are good in technology, you can assist them, and that assistance, personally I have believed that personally I have experienced that these particular skills will give you a different boost. So be good in technology apart from being good in law. So so in this time period when this ravages of pandemic has hit us, you can enhance your skills. You can write in so many articles, and you have to be confident enough that in future, if some firm and if some office is recruiting one person, that one person should be you. These many skills you should have, and you should be ready. So just understand that God, if you take it positive, understand that God has given you ample amount of time to enhance your skills and to build your CV now. So all this 4 to 5 months period, whatever you are like for you don't have, I don't think so that most of the college, like the college do not have the regular classes now, and the virtual classes are going on. There is no so much of burden. End semester in so many colleges I have found that end semester is not there. So you can enhance your other skills. Do not waste your time. This is the right time what you have got to build your CV and to enlighten your talent. So do not panic, do not worry, everything will be fine.
Thank you, sir. That's definitely good advice to make productive use of the time that God has given us. So with that, I think we come to an end of the interactive session, and we'd like to open the session up to the students for their questions. And I think Law Internship Student Coordinator Prerna will take over from here, where she'll be coordinating the questions from the students. Hi, Prerna.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, sir. So the participants, the floor is open for questions. So you can either write the question on the chat box or unmute yourself and ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is Ipsita Mishra. from BMS College of Law. So I really liked your thoughts about the future transition and all. It's really impressive and it gave us a really good hope that we can do better. So sir, but there is a thing that having a law background in all this situation and scenarios with regards to internship and all, it helps a lot. What, in your opinion, that having a law background is a good thing, is a bad thing? My first question. Second question would be that
Law background, just a minute. Law background, are you trying to say that the family background, family law background?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's all, sir.
Yes, yes.
And
So,
how to get a good connection with lawyers, how to get a good environment to work with them.
okay. So, in answering your first question, having a family background is always a beautiful thing, so you don't have to worry. If you have the family background, it's a very beautiful thing. You can always utilize that. But my suggestion to everyone who have the family, who has the family background is that use that in the right time. Do not waste it in your first year and second year. Use that in the right time. And if your family is a lawyer, obviously you are not going to get so much of difficulty in getting internships if they have good contact in big town. If you want to do internship in Delhi, Bombay, and Bangalore. So when you have a family, you always have, that tendency to be confident, and you don't have to worry about, so that tension, that stress, just goes out of your mind. So to have a family background is always good, enhancing your skills. I would like to tell you that even when we are an advocate, because I'm a first generation lawyer, there is no one in my family who held their beacon of law on my hand. There was no one. So, and, to be in Delhi, it's really very tedious and it's a Herculean task, and to manage yourself in that time. And sometimes I feel that, okay, there are so many questions which during internship or when I'm even practicing, I can get while reading the books, but there are few questions which I have to have someone as a mentor, which I have to, and I cannot, contact my mentor every time. So when I see someone who is from my family and who is, suppose my father, my maternal uncle, my paternal uncle, I can immediately call them and ask, those doubts. So that really helps a lot. And what was your second question? What was your second question?
How to get a contact with good lawyers?
Again, see,
because not having a
correct.
not having a family background is a problem. So how to maintain that?
I'll personally tell you that how it happens with me. So again, it will take 2 to 3 minutes to narrate you the my entire tale of woes. So I think I may take it. Okay. So now what happened with me? As I told you, I'm a first generation lawyer. So it does not mean that you will not get anything. I did my first internship when in my hometown in NGO, and I really worked hard there. That was a human rights NGO. I even wrote an article. So my hometown is suppose Panna, where diamonds are found in Madhya Pradesh. So I wrote an article that the condition of diamond city as a coal. So whatever I had to write, I wrote that. And that was again published in some newspaper articles as a newspaper article. After that, I applied to someone in my state, to some normal advocate in my state, and I again worked there. I started building my CV for the right time to apply in the right place. And if you apply to 20 advocates, out of 20, 2 will say yes. They will not say no. Everyone is not looking for some recommendation and for some backup or some jugaad. So if you are applying to 20 advocates, your CV is good, you definitely and certainly will get a job or will get a next internship. So you don't have to worry about it. Just be very professional with your work. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was really great to hear you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
Yeah.
I think someone is.
Yes, sir. The question from S. Sri Ram. He wants to know about internships on law teaching. So he wants to know if a law student who wants to become a good lawyer can pursue internship under a good lawyer. But then if any student who wants to pursue as a good law teacher in the future, so are there any internship opportunities for the same?
Just a minute. What about a law student who wants to be a good law teacher in the future? Definitely you can have that. There is no prohibition in this. So again, as I told you, Schedule 3, Rule 25 of the Bar Council Rules on Legal Education allows that. you can have internship there. But you have to remember that in 1 year time period, you have to have an internship of with the trial or appellate advocates. You have to have the 28 days internship in 1 year. You have to have with the advocates, trial advocates, or the appellate advocates. Apart from there, wherever the law is taught, wherever the law is managed, wherever the law is practiced, you can have that. So the law says you have to have the 20 weeks internship when you are in when you are in 5-year course, and 12 weeks internship when you are in 3-year course. 28 days, it should not be stretched in one time. And in 1 year time period, apart from that 20 years time period with advocates, you can have internship anywhere. You can do internship with the law teacher. There is no prohibition in that. But complete one internship with the trial advocate or the appellate advocates who are working in the appellate court. That's mandatory.
Okay, and the next question is from Saida. Her question is about what if in course of 5 years of college, if we didn't get a chance to do moot court, will there be any problem to get any job?
No, again, there will be no problem, because see, I have personally seen so many students who have not done moot court competition, but are doing amazing, So in Karnataka High Court, if you see, there is a senior advocate, you might be knowing, Mr. Aditya Sondhi. He has passed out from National School of India University, and he has never done moot court competition, but he's doing very great. Why I'm referring Mr. Sondhi, because in that time there was moot court competition, and I'm not referring to Mr. Ramjit Malani, because in that time there was no moot court competition. So I'm referring to the example that at the same time when there were moot court competition and the importance of moot court competition was there, if you're not doing moot, it's okay. But yeah, at the same time, you must have interest, in some other things. You can't be blank that you have not done any debate competition, you have not written any articles, you have not presented any papers. That shows some ignorance, in co-curricular activities. In your CV, you have to maintain the balance in curricular and co-curricular. So your co-curricular is not only confined to the moot court competition. If you have not done, no problem. One more suggestion I would like to give, that so when you are writing an article, so now the trend has changed now, okay? There are so many e-publications. E-publication in the sense, there is a live law, there is a bar and bench, there is a legit quest, legit eye. You can, write your articles immediately and you can publish that. So again, we will have someday another session on how to write and how to publish that. But so this way you can build your CV. Okay, and if you have written something very important, suppose if some Supreme Court judgment has come yesterday, and if you are the first person who have written on this, live law, bar and bench will take your article if it is good. Okay, so just send them, because it will give you the Google recognition, I'll say. The internet recognition is very important, because see, if your CV has come to me, if I'm Googling it, and if your name is coming in some other articles, I will be very happy to see you in my office. So you have to have the Google recognition and the internet recognition. So don't have to bother about, confining yourself to the moot court competition. If you have not done, no problem at all. Just go to, extend your areas. So this is it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. This is Aditya M. Sir,
Yes,
I just wanted to ask one small question. Sir, what are the major things that we need to take care of in our student career, if we with respect to AR in Supreme Court?
What is that? I could not hear you. Have you written the answer in the chat question in the chat box?
No, sir. AR, sir. Advocate on record with respect to Supreme Court.
So what is your question?
What are the major things that we need to take care of, sir, with respect to exams for future careers?
Okay, for civil judge exam, are you asking for civil judge, for LLM exams and so on?
Advocate on record, sir. Supreme Court of India.
Advocate. So again, you don't have to worry. There is an exam of advocate on record. The conditions are given under Supreme Court Rules 2013, which says that you have to have the experience of 5-year practice in Supreme Court or in any other court. And after that, there has to be 1-year internship under the advocate on record who have the 10-year experience being the advocate on record. You can write that exam, and your CV in that time does not matter. Okay, so you can directly crack that exam. You can become an advocate on record. There is no problem in that.
The next question is from Mahesh Babu. Recently in Jammu and Kashmir High Court notified scheme for internship in High Court. So what is your opinion on that?
Again, I have not gone through those schemes. If you say that I will go through those schemes, because this is very particular answer in relation to Jammu and Kashmir High Court. Had it been for Delhi High Court, I would have gone through it. So I'm afraid that I do not know the answer of this.
All right. The next question is from Nirmal Jain. My question is his question is that as there are many online internships are also going on, so he wants to know the opinion on online internships and normal internships. So does online internship fulfill the statutory guidelines of 28 days internship?
Okay, so you have asked the question that importance of virtual internship and comparison. So my first answer to this is that in this time you do not have any other option, to go to the practical internship, because the advocates will not allow you until unless you have some family background and they personally know you, or your family maternal uncle or paternal uncle is an advocate. So first thing, you do not have any option in this time. And comparing both of them, again, I will say that when you physically go to the court, again, it's a different kind of exposure. But when you do virtual internship, you can have a good amount of research work. So there are so many people, I think there are 3 to 4 people who are still in my office and doing virtual internship with me. And they are quite professional and they fix their time, So they say that, sir, kindly let us know the work we have done and kindly fix some period of time, like tomorrow 2 p.m. or Saturday 2 p.m. so we can have a good interaction with you. So again, in virtual internship, you can have one-to-one a very good and beautiful interaction with your mentor, and they can know you very well. And it's not like that your mentor under whom you are interning in virtual internship, they will not give you time through Zoom. They will give you fast for. So again, it's a different experience for everyone. So you can do virtual internship. It's a nice thing.
Any other questions from the participants? You can write on the chat box or unmute yourself and ask.
Again, you can ask me any questions, whether you're in law school, what you will do after law school, what should be done, what should not be done, about internship, moot court, writing articles. You can ask me anything. There's no problem. Be free.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, hello, Sonali.
I just wanted to know that there's certain presumptions everywhere that it takes a lot of time for lawyers to be successful in their career, sir. Do you think that the internships might help us to be successful a little earlier? And if you think so, I would like to ask, like, how can we make good use of those internships so that it might help us really in the future, like when we are practicing, when we get into work, good use of this internship so that it will help us in the future.
Okay. So your internship, no doubt, has a very good weightage when you come to practice. So suppose if you have done out of in 5 years, if you have done 10 internship, and out of 10, if you have done 5 internships in litigation, as I told you, after first internship, you know if you have really worked hard, you should know the basics, mentioning rejoinder and so on. And when you come to practice, you are not blank. Now, what happens when you come to practice? The first thing you tell your to whom you are going to be recruited, you say that, sir, I'm a junior, I don't know anything, so you have to teach me. So first thing you should remember that when you are going to apply for a job, and when you are going to apply for an internship, you don't have to be burdened on the mentor. Once you are a burden on the mentor, they will start ignoring you. Again, time after time, someone, comes and pokes me, sir, iska kya karna hai, what to do, what not to do, now what, sir, now I have reached Saket court, how to file the matter, how to go for it. What I expect from you, why I have hired you, the logic is to release my burden and not to get burden from you. Again, time after time, you are calling me. So when you have done internship, and if I give you very small things that to, get certified copy of this order, do this, just go and file this particular matter in advance, you know the basic things. I'm not saying that in internship, you will absolutely know that how to file a matter. But in those internships, you will get to know that how to take the assistance from other people to file the matter. Okay, and how not to, disturb your senior again and again. So these very basic things and the professionalism you will understand when you are in internship, and that will definitely boost, that will definitely boost your career, I think, in that side. So it has weightage.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. I would like to know, when I'm interested in writing an article, how would I start the procedure? Like, where do I do it? How do
Okay,
I do it? Yeah, thank you.
so again, many people will tell you about writing the article. Again, there is one question for the importance of certificate courses in CV. I would like to answer that also. First, I will come to this. Just a minute. What did you ask? I just forgot. Please again tell me.
Yeah, basically when I'm interested in writing an article.
I got it. Yeah, thank you. So see, when you start writing the articles, many people will suggest you that find out the area of interest, and then start writing in that. And let me assure you, if you have started writing in area of interest, that first year research will never end till your final year. That article will be like that on the desktop. Why? The reason is, when you are interested in something, you try to give your best, and the best never comes. The best from your side never comes. So, you all may have an experience that you thought that, okay, sir, I have an experience of writing in women empowerment. You have started writing that article, and in first year, in your first year or in second year, you open your desktop or laptop, you will see that still that article half, completed is still there. Why? Because you have gone through the wrong mode. I'm not saying that you should not do that. You write in the area of interest. But one additional thing you should add, again, if you have written in area of interest, first thing, you do not have the knowledge that what are the areas actually what people are demanding outside in the market. So suppose if you have written women empowerment, if you have written the human right, there are lakhs of articles. If you just Google it in women empowerment, you will find thousands and thousands of pages in the Google. So no one is going to take that as a publication, and in that time you will be demoralized. What you can do, so suppose, as I told you, if some judgment has come, you in live law, if you have live law or bar and bench and all these e-portals, what is going on in the Rajasthan, what is going on in Karnataka High Court, what is the controversy, you start writing about that. And suppose if some judgment or some controversy has just taken place yesterday, you start writing today and just complete it by tomorrow. You try to do that. And for that, you have to have the knowledge of the topic. If you don't know how to write, take the assistance of your professor, your assistant professor, your associate professor, your seniors who have good experience in this, and try to publish it as soon as possible. Because once in that topic which was there in the controversy, if there are few articles, they will not take yours. So try to do that as soon as possible. First come, first serve. Okay, so again, thank you. Someone has asked me about the certificate course. What is the importance of certificate course? See, when I see certificate course, there is a zero value. I do not care about it. In 5 years, there are 56 subjects. There are 56 compulsory subjects. There are few compulsory subjects. There are few not compulsory subjects. So when you tell me that there is a certificate course or I have done an IPR from this, I will first ask you what you have done in your 5-year law school. If you are not able to just, do justice with it, I will not go to your certificate course. So I'm not asking you not to do the certificate course. You can have that, but first you have to have, do justice with your 56 subjects in your law school. Okay, if you have not done that, I will not have any value of that certificate. Certificate does not matter. What I ask or what firms ask in the interview, that those things matters. Yeah, any other question, Prerna?
Yes, sir. The next question is from
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask, like you mentioned that we get the judgments from High Court of Rajasthan. How do we get into that?
Yeah. So
any link or any?
Yeah. No, there is no link. You just see. There are many apps of e-portal. I don't want to. So I don't want to advertise them, but there are so many e-portals and which are really good. So, for example, Live Law, Bar and Bench, Leisure Chai. You can have. You can download their app. And in all that, there are complete legal news. Okay, there are all legal news you will find there. All the recent controversy which are going on the legal side, what Supreme Court is going to say today, what it is going to say tomorrow. Everything you will find that.
Which one you find it the best one? So.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
My article gets publication in both and all that, so I don't want any contrary repercussions on me.
No, which one do you prefer? I'm asking.
You can go for, I told you, you can have some best in Google, best law e-portals in India. You can have that.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Saida. Now we are going to give chance to others. There's a question from Devashish. Can a 5th semester student apply internship under High Court judge?
Yeah, there is no problem. If High Court judge is giving you internship, do apply and do get it. There's no problem. You can apply.
Yes. Next is from Smith Singh.
One more suggestion I would like to make. If you have any backup and if you do not have any backup, and this is one of the most important suggestion which I would like to give you, start interning under judicial magistrates rather than interning under High Court judge. The entire CRPC, you will see in front of you before the magistrate. See, when you are doing internship in High Court, you will get to know the different writ petitions and so on. But the matters is very confined to Article 14, 21, and so on. But when you are in, with the magistrate, you will see different kinds of applications, different types of argument, different types of trial, and that's the most beautiful things which you can learn in internship. So try to get internship under magistrate and a civil judge. So you will have the basic idea of before even going to for the recruitment, you will have a basic idea that how the civil court and the criminal court functions. Where most of the matters are listed. So you can do that. Yeah, right. Please, Prerna.
Yeah, the next question is from Smith Singh. So what if someone is ignoring co-curricular and extracurricular activities and focusing on preparing for the judicial services examination?
That's no problem. There is no problem. Again, see, when you want to prepare for judicial service examination, so whatever I have told today is not applicable for any competitive law exam. Okay, is not applicable for any competitive law exam. I have set forth all the points. If you want to apply for any firm, if you want to go to any senior advocate's office after 5 years, when there is no competitive law examination in that. So if you want to go for any competitive law examination, there is no problem in that. You can do that. But again, my one suggestion: do not choose the competitive law exam merely because you have not done anything till your final year. Do not do that. So if you do not have CV, if you are afraid of doing what to do, do not just pick that I want to prepare for civil judge exam because I do not have any other thing. So just have that consciousness in your mind, and if you are preparing for it, all the best and do it well. If you do not have anything in your CV, no problem.
Yeah, so next question is from Spurti. How difficult is to get a job or an internship in a law firm?
Again, that depends on criteria of firm to firm. If you have someone in the firm who can recommend you, that's always very good. And if you have got a chance to intern under some good firm, just try to give your best. And again, suppose if you have done internship under a firm in your 4th year, so suppose you have done internship in 7th or 8th semester, so do it in 8th semester. So wherever you want to do job, do internship in your 7th semester or 8th semester, because you will have bit knowledge of law and the interpretive skills you may have. And after that, again apply in 9th semester in the same place. Okay, so you may get the pre-placement offer or something like that, assessment internship. So you can go for it like that. So again, it depends on firm to firm. Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is from Aditya. What are the major things that we as juniors should take into consideration when we are there in assisting counsel to standing counsel in any matter?
Again, you have to be very punctual. So suppose when I'm relying on someone, you can't give me the excuses that, sir, traffic is there, in the way, so I could not come. And sir, I'm just coming in 5 minutes. This should not happen. And when you are, so this is the thing when you are outside of the court. Now, when you are inside the court, you, if you may have the very good discussion with your counsel one day before. And if your counsel is something like this, that he does not want to much, interact with the internees or with something like that, then you can have, just hear what is going on in the office. You can take the help of juniors and just be ready for all the case laws, what is going to be relied by the senior, because you will, get to know that in advance. So, and you have to be ready with the file. And one more suggestion I would like to make: when you are internee, you have to have the diary, not the court diary, but the case diary. Court diary is again the mandatory part from the Bar Council rules. I'm talking about the case diary. So in the 1 month period, you should know that when this case is listed, on what date, and when that case is listed for what purpose. Okay, so you have to know that. And if you know that, when that file is coming to you, because see, if my matter is listed tomorrow, obviously the internee is not going to get that file today, because I'm going to have that file. So you will not, get chance to read that file. So what you can do, if in advance you know that this matter is going to be listed in day after tomorrow, you can already have that, one day prior to when I take the file. So day before, suppose today my matter is listed, you can have the file on day before yesterday and you can read it. And in that way, you can help your senior, sir, I have read this matter, may I brief you? So this will give a good impression. So that in prior to listing of the matter, only you have done the matter.
All right. Next question is from Mahesh Babu again.
Now, just give me a minute, Prerna. What's the item? Okay, no problem. I'll just immediately come if it comes. Yeah, please, Prerna.
Yeah, so the next question is from Mahesh Babu. Nowadays, systems and procedures are fast changing. The manual filing is outdated. Now, e-filing is gaining importance. So how can we help the senior judges while internship?
Senior judges?
Yes.
Or senior advocates?
It says senior judges.
No, it is senior advocates, sir. Excuse me, sir. Yeah.
So how you can assist the senior advocate in filing the matters? So again, see, senior advocate, first thing, do not file the matter. So matters are filed in the junior's office, and they engage the senior to argue the matter. So when senior argues the matter, every matter is complete. All the pleadings are complete. Like most of the time it happens that the matter filing is done. Either senior advocate will appear in first hearing or in the last hearing or the miscellaneous hearing. Matter is already completed. So in senior advocate, actually in filing, you can hardly be of any help. But to junior advocates, you can do that. If you have, read the proper rules, you go to the High Court websites, and if you have good experience of doing that, you can help them.
So the next question is from sir, how to choose a particular field in law when you're in particular field in law when you're in college, because it is a very complicated thing. This question is from Devashish Deval.
Okay, so to choose a particular field is not so complicated. If you have really worked hard, it's not complicated. Again, many people ask me, sir, what is, in which field there is a scope? So when I was in law school, there was a scope going on, in IPR. See, again, there is no concept of scope. There is no concept of fields that in this field, if I go, so I will get a job or something like that. So as there's a famous quote, be a cobbler but make sure that you want to be, it does not matter that whether you want to be a cobbler, but make sure that you be a best cobbler in the world. So it does not matter. Again, how to choose the field, it depends on your interest. It depends on your financial burden. Suppose if you have taken a loan, you just ask a question that if you are going to practice, are you going to, release that loan in few years? And how difficult it is going to be there. So you can decide that. First, if there is an education loan, you have to go for corporate job. So you can build your CV accordingly. In order to come for litigation, even if you have done 2 to 3 internships, good internship in litigation, that's okay. But if you are going to corporate job, you must have some background of corporate internships. So this is what I want to say. The choosing the field depends on the circumstances and your area of interest. And that differs, in third year, first year, there is some other interest you may have when you realize. So in first year, I have seen many students say, I want to do litigation. I just want to, explore the world, because they do not see the hard work which is exerted in litigation. Now, when they go to court, what they see? Lawyers are enjoying when the firm's people are working. How they are enjoying this? They have seen some lawyer having coffee in the canteen. They have seen some lawyers are having samosas, in midtime, but they have not seen that they have to work till 2 o'clock in night, 3 o'clock in the night, and again in the morning they have to wake up at 8 o'clock. So there are so many responsibilities in litigation, and when they realize it in third year, they change their mind and they say, okay, I want to have the secure job. Just days back, I got to know that there was one senior advocate in Madhya Pradesh who was selling tea. The senior counsel in Madhya Pradesh was selling tea, and it was very, heart-rending news for me. So someone will say that, okay, after reading those news, that I want to be secure, and the people who were thinking for litigation now, they may have, turn their mind for the more security and for corporate job. So it happens. And for that, you must have the background in your CV of wide varieties of internships. This is what I want to say.
Absolutely. So that's where internships help us to find the area of Anyways, the next question is from Debolina. Sir, are internships necessary when it comes to judicial exams? Do they see our internships in our CV and interview?
Okay. So when there is an interview, there is no doubt that if you have done good internship in litigation, that will help you, because when you write that you have done internship and you have described that internship properly, so in that time, the judges may ask you questions on that. And when they ask you questions on that, and when you are already, prepared for the same, you take out those few minutes from their mind and you answer that beautifully. And that gives you, good impression in their mind that, okay, he has answered that properly. And apart from that, if someone, if you have not done, so internship, again, there's a statutory requirement, you may be in trouble. So you have to do that. And if someone has not done internship, good internships, I'm saying, and if it is coming to their CV, they will confine to the very basic points. They are not going to go to these parts. It will not matter so much, as I told you, in competitive law examination.
There are two questions from Nirmal. Is there any importance in formatting of CV? And
I'll just take a few seconds, Prerna. Just take 5 seconds.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Prerna.
There are two questions from Nirmal. Is there any importance in formatting of CV, and also how to maintain the connection with advocates once the internship is finished with them?
Again, as I told you, first thing, CV formatting obviously matters, because when you have so many things to put, then in that time in 2 pages to cover that is quite difficult task. So try to find out the most important things and try to have a very good CV. If you are independently applying for a firm or for a job, you can do not just download the Google CV, take CVs of someone who is already working in the firm, try to contact them. And answering the second question that about the internship, where that how to be in touch with those advocates. So in India, it's not, I think, difficult to be in touch with the people. So suppose if someone is Hindu, you can just call them on Diwali and just wish them. If someone is Christian, you can call them in Christmas and you wish them. Someone is Muslim, you can wish them in Eid. So there are so many various ways. It depends on your mind how to be in touch with these people, and they will appreciate you if you are doing in the right time. Again, do not just call them at 11 o'clock on Tuesday when the court hearing is going on, say, hello, sir, how are you? I just felt like calling you. Do not do that. Again, call them, try to be in touch with them in right time and wait for the time. Don't be impatient.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Are there any questions from the participants? All right, sir. Would you like to add something more?
No, I think I have. If there had been any question, I would have answered them. There's no problem. You may proceed.
Yes, sir. So I, Prerna Kala, on behalf of LawInternships and BMS College of Law, extend a hearty gratitude to Mr. Pawan Reley Sir, who honored us with this enriching session and took out time of his busy schedule, and also to Ms. Shilpa Shenoy ma'am for being the moderator for the session. I must also mention our deep sense of appreciation to all the students who are present today. Hope this session was a great learning experience for all of you. Also, we will be sharing the feedback form link on the chat box, so I request all the participants to kindly fill the same. Thank you again, one and all.
Thank you.